Howdy y'all, we're back to another video. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been struggling the last 2 weeks figuring out what kind of video I wanted to make. I do like doing the history stuff, but it requires a lot of preparation, and I just haven't had a lot of time lately. It's not that I'm not, trying to prioritize this, it's just I've got a lot of eggs in a lot of baskets, right? So, I was pretty dead set on 2 other videos that might be future videos. But, I was at work and I was getting some work done and I was just having videos autoplay, and a video popped up of like a guy maybe a little older than me gave a video on things he wishes his 30-year-old self knew, or like when he was in his 30s he knew now that he's in his 40s. And you guys may not know, like I'm old as fuck, dude. So like I'm pushing to 40. I just turned 38. God, dude, I'm so old. I just turned 38, but I'm not out of my 30s yet, so I don't think I want to make that video for another 2 years. One thing I was thinking about is that there are plenty of people in the community that are in their 20s, and I really like our community because, when I'm in the stream, everyone's motivated. Everyone's trying to get something done, do something with their life. And I thought, hey, maybe it might be a good idea. I did a little bit of thinking, wrote a little bit of a list for one video of things I wish I knew in my 20s, things that I maybe kind of regret, or, maybe I could have used that information. I could have used someone to mentor me and tell me, hey, don't fuck up. So I actually think I can make multiple of these videos. I have a huge list, so we'll see what I could get done in about 20 minutes. But, hey, before we start, I really appreciate all the support I've been getting from all of you. The streams have been going fantastic. The viewership's going up. The followership's going up. Guys, if you're still watching me, please consider liking, subscribing. I hope I've earned that up to this point. If not, watch this video and let me earn that like and subscribe. Set those notifications, because when my videos come out, I want you guys to watch them. I want us to go up in the algorithm and we could pull more cool people who are motivated and like gaming and hanging out and all that, right? Another thing is, before we start this video, I'd like you to just take a look at this ad. I'm the sponsor. This is my product. Please support it. It helps out the channel. It helps out me. It keeps me being able to do what I'm doing now and giving you guys content. So here you go.
Hey, cold ones. Looking for music you can play anywhere without those annoying copyright strikes? Check out the Beat Lab. It's a streaming music project made for creators, students, people on the grind, or anyone who just wants the perfect vibe. The project has over 14 hours of original lo-fi, 8 hours of holiday music, and 3 hours of cozy tavern tunes, all streaming around the clock. Studying, chilling, working, or making content? There's something here for every mood. And none of our music is AI generated. Every track comes from real talented musicians. Everything's copyright free, so it's totally safe for your YouTube, Twitch, TikTok channels, wherever you want to use it. There are even more albums and music genres on the way, so there's always something new to discover. You can listen on any music streaming platform. Just search for Frosty Jams or go to hyperfollow.com/thebeatlab to start listening now. After this video, crack a cold one. Head to hyperfollow.com/thebeatlab and start listening.
All right, guys. So I broke these kind of things that maybe they're more like topics. I broke them up into 5 categories: career, money, relationship and family, physical health, and lifestyle. So I'm gonna have maybe about like 3 to 5 each, so I'm just gonna go through the list. So starting with number 1, career. So the first thing, man, I wish I knew in my 20s is your passion does not have to be your job. I feel like when I was growing up, I'm a millennial. When I was growing up, there was this huge push when I was in school, even in college, that your passion has to be your job. I kept hearing that bullshit, if you love what you do at work, you never have to work a day in your life. It sounds so dumb. It sounds so stupid. And it felt like it was almost like a manipulative way for you as a person to try to love work, and then your company takes advantage of you or something. I don't know. Or I heard it in college, so it might be a university thing to kind of keep you going. I don't know. It just felt manipulative. Maybe it didn't come from a side of malice, but I bought it. Like, I felt like I had to love what I did. I felt like when I was going through school, everyone I knew was looking for their quote dream job, when you watch movies about, some young woman goes to New York to become, a cake designer, and she falls in love, it feels, I don't know, like it feels like they were trying to push my generation to love our job. I don't think it needs to, right? I think you can get a job, you can get money, you're trading your time and your talents for a paycheck. You can use that to pursue your passions. I like streaming. I like playing video games. I like hanging out with you guys. Guys, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I want to do this all day, every day. If I had the opportunity, I might take it. But, once this becomes a job, like that's when it becomes rough. That, I don't think I'd like that. I just don't recommend anyone in their 20s to think, hey, if you like flying aircraft, that doesn't mean you need to be a fighter pilot or an astronaut, dude. Like, you can get a pilot's license. So that's my recommendation. And some of these will kind of meld together. So on that, my second one is use your skills to enhance your quality of life. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean that's what you're good at, right? If you're passionate about making videos, kind of like this, if you're passionate about making videos or streaming or whatever, but you're actually really good at coding or you're really good at technical writing, well, with AI, you're probably after it. But I mean, like if you have a good skill, hey, Chaotic World in the chat, Frostysaurus, amazing at working on cars. If you've got a skill, you only have so much time on this planet, like use that skill to gain resources, gain money, gain experience, gain, if you can, like a good position that lets you have high quality of life, and use those resources to pursue your passion. There are plenty of people that I work with that, on the weekends, they do volunteering because they love doing it. Or, I know a couple guys, one of them owns his own aircraft and he's a pilot on the weekends, but he doesn't do that for a normal job. Your passion doesn't need to be your job, and you can use your skills to pursue your passions, get all the equipment you need. If you're into scuba diving, like you can use your skills to get money to go pursue your passions and get all the resources you need. And then tying those in, the next one, number 3, you don't need to chase the carrot. Focus on your skills, right? When I started my career, especially, being an offspring of boomers and, the boomer generation, and this isn't a slight against them. Like, this was the trend, right? Do well at your job, move up the corporate ladder, get a really good position, and chill, right? The problem is, when you chase the carrot, it feels like more positions are getting made. There's like more levels than ever in corporate culture. Like they're making new rules. Like, dude, go on LinkedIn and see all these crazy freaking titles. Now you got like agile coaches, and you have like, I don't know, like developer, evangelist. It's like, dude, they're making shit up, man. Like, you don't need to fall for that. They're just gonna make new roles, and then you chase the carrot and you work harder and you work overtime and you don't focus on yourself and you burn out, right? I don't know. I don't think you need to chase the carrot. I think you need to focus on skills. So for me, I'm a software engineer. I could keep trying to climb the corporate ladder, go for, being a young director, and then moving up into executive work, and then I'm married to my job, and then my skills die, right? I think there's just more opportunity to where I could probably, get better at development, get better at interfacing with AI, get better at actually leading people, like build my skills, and the opportunities will come. So that's something I wish I knew in my 20s. Number 4, leadership is as much an action as it is a role. I see a lot of young people in their 20s that I work with, and man, they want to be a manager as fast as possible. They want to be a leader, but it makes you wonder, like, do you want the title or do you want to control people? Like, and I think the answer could be both, or either or, depending on who you're talking about, right? Some people do want to tell people what to do, and those people scare me, right? Sociopaths exist. And, some people just want the title. They just want to grow as fast as possible, but they may not have the skills to back it up. And that's how you get in over your head. And it happens all the time. I think leadership is as much of an action as it is a role. So yeah, you could be called a tech lead, a team lead, a manager, a senior manager, a director, fucking, I don't know, squadron leader, right? You could be called that, but if your people aren't actually following you, you're not portraying leadership skills. You're not showing, you don't have command presence, right? I think it's better to gain the respect of the people who either report to you or your peers, right? You can be on a team and you could lead by example. You could be the same rank as someone, or maybe not rank, but you could be the same level as someone on a team, maybe even under them. But when you show your prowess with whatever skills you're doing, whatever your tasks are, and you're good and people listen to you and people come to you for help, if you're the person that they're like, oh man, I need help, I'm gonna go to this guy, that's leadership, right? And then you add a role to that. I mean, that's the full spectrum leadership right there. So yeah. Okay, so moving on to money. Wealthy people own things. I think a lot of people in their 20s that I talk to, they don't realize there's options out there. It just feels like they're job hopping to make more and more money, and they're moving themselves into, and I've done this too. I was doing this. Like I moved myself into more and more risky positions. Like I moved into an early management role when I was younger. Like I moved into management within 2 years of working, and I got myself in over my head. I got myself in risky positions where I could get laid off. I could get fired. And, you know, I see a lot of people job hopping to Amazon and all that, and they're moving themselves into positions where they could get laid off. I almost got a job at Google at Mountain View, and then the whole team I was going to go to got laid off. Right? I mean, I dodged a bullet there. And so one thing I noticed is that there's options. Going back to the first couple points, you can use the skills that you have to, you know, get investments. You can use the skills that you have to earn money on the side, start a business. Wealthy people don't just have a huge salary job and that's it. They have multiple streams of income. That's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm doing on YouTube. That's what I'm doing with the Beat Lab. That's what I'm doing with Squadron AI. That's what I'm doing with the Tender app. Right? That's what I'm doing with my stock portfolio. That's what I'm doing with my Feet Finder picks. No, I'm kidding. I don't have those. Only fossils. I guess to kind of ring it back, if you want to build wealth, you need to get investments. You need to use your skill. Maybe you can get work on the side. Start a business. Wealthy people own things. They own property. They own businesses. They own shares of companies. They own maybe, you know, crypto coins or whatever. While you're in your 20s, that's the best time to try to build wealth, in my opinion. And it will grow for you. Number 6, don't get FOMO with your investments. So, you know, I'm not telling you just invest. That's actually something I did in my 20s, and I thought I did pretty well. Where it went wrong is I would get FOMO. Oh, everyone's buying it on GameStop. And sometimes by the time you hear about it, you're the late one. You're the one holding the bag. So I have a real story. When C3.ai IPO'd, so that's when they made their initial public offering on the stock market, I bought into it. I bought into the freaking FOMO. That thing went up to $138 a share. And then, you know, I went to work, wasn't paying attention. Boom. That fucker crashed down. It crashed down. It's like at $30-something a share now, I think. And I still own the... Well, no, I finally just got rid of those shares and put them in a much better investment. But yeah, you know, don't fall for the FOMO. If you've been hearing people talk about it for a while, you're probably going to get screwed on it. You know, the people who make money on investments get in early. How do you get in early? And one recommendation I have that I've learned in my 30s is, yeah, you can buy stocks and shares, and it's easy enough. You can buy crypto, but like the people who make real money, they're the ones that invest before it goes public. There are ways that you can invest in companies even before it goes to, you know, NASDAQ or whatever. So there's ways to do private investing. I'm not there yet, but that's somewhere I want to go. So what are we on? 7. So brand products are not status symbols. It makes you an NPC. I have too many friends, and I did it too. You know, the latest iPhone came out, gotta get the latest iPhone. Latest iPad came out, gotta get the latest iPad. I was the same way with video games. Every new video game, I had to have it. Every new video game, a new Xbox accessory, Xbox Connect, had to have it. Guys, it's just wasting your money. You look like a freaking tool. Like, use quality products. Don't fall for that Apple BS where it's like, oh, the new iPhone came out, I have to have it. It's cool. New Apple Watch. Guys, it's shit, man. They just they're shitty products. The hardware they use is not great. You don't even know what they use because they won't tell you, right? I mean, there are good products that come out also. Guys, just look for good deals. Look for good stuff. Make sure whatever you get actually does the job. No one gives a shit that you're wearing like Beats for Dre or whatever in your head, paying $300 for shitty headphones. Like, guys, just don't fall for that crap. I guess I'm kind of giving myself that advice too. Like, I actively try to avoid the branding because I know nobody cares. When someone sees that you're wearing Nike, nobody fucking cares. Okay, anyway, I'm getting too caught up on that. So relationships and family. So for this, I lost count. I think I'm at 9. I'm not sure, whatever. But people you love will disappoint you. If you're a person that has a lot of motivation and you're trying to do well for yourself in your life, you're going to want your friends to come with you. You're going to want to motivate your friends. You're going to tell your friends to do something. They will disappoint you. Your parents will disappoint you sometimes. You know, if you want them to do something, your family, your cousins, they'll disappoint you because they've got their own things going on. They've got their own priorities. You're seeing the world through your lens. You know, I heard a quote once that it's like, you know, in life, if you're motivated, you're a rocket ship. And in order for you to get where you want to go in space, you need multiple stages of, you know, launch. And so sometimes your friends are the first stage and, you know, you eject that large canister of fuel and then it just floats around in space. And that's where they stay in life. And then you have friends that take you up to level 2 and then you eject that large canister and then they stay in that orbit. And then there's friends that take you almost to the very end and you eject. And eventually you're that rocket, spearhead, whatever, warhead if it explodes, but maybe not. Maybe it's a good rocket. I don't fucking know. But either case, when you're that head capsule, you may be alone. And some of the friends you started with, you know, may not be there. And that's okay. And so one thing I learned, I learned this in my 30s is a lot of the friends you're going to try, you know, all your buddies you're playing games with, they're eventually going to disappear. Maybe a couple might not, the ones that have your values and motivation, but for the most part, a lot of them are, and that's okay. Like, don't break your back. It's one of those, you know, don't light yourself on fire to keep others warm. Don't do that. So it's okay. Like some of your friends, they're going to go off and do different things and you may not hear from them again. It's part of life. And it sucks, but it's part of life. All right, the next one, I don't know what number. Choose your mate carefully. Values must align. I made this mistake in my 20s pretty hard. I dated 2 girls that we didn't see eye to eye religiously. We didn't see eye to eye politically. We didn't see eye to eye in values. It's going to be a headache if you try that. Now, I already know some of you guys are going to, it'll work. You know, opposites attract. Look, you know, if you want to take that stance, go for it. Like more power to you. Advice to myself in my 20s, find someone that, you know, aligns with your values. And I think Lady Frost is that person. We don't agree on everything, but one thing I've learned is that, you know, when you have families on the other side, I'm not talking your family, I'm talking about your in-laws. If you guys don't agree, they're going to be your surrogate family. It's going to be rough. Things are going to be rough. You guys are never going to agree, you know, and if you're always arguing with your spouse, you're not going to have peace at home. You guys don't see eye to eye. What happens when you have kids? When you have kids and you can't decide like what they're going to believe, you know, what values they're going to have, you're just not going to have a stable home, right? So that's something I actually had to learn the hard way, and that was in my early 20s. But you know, I found Lady Frost and our values for the most part align. She's still a pain in my ass, but you know, they align. So and if you disagree with me, cool, more power to you. I'm actually interested. Tell me in the comments of how you make it work. The next one, and this, if there's something I can highlight bigger than anything, it's children are not burdens. And, you know, when I was in my 20s, I was like, man, I'm not having kids. I'm not having kids. Like, I'm just not going to do it. You know, I want all my money to myself. I want to have a good time. I want to party. You know, I want to travel the world. I don't want to worry about daycare. I don't want to worry about changing diapers. And I just thought they were a burden. Like, I was convinced I wasn't going to have kids. But, you know, me and Lady Frost, we had long talks. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I think I could do this. I think I could be a dad. And I was always just like, I don't know, like, I'll probably be a terrible dad. And I've told myself the thing everyone says, I don't want to bring him in this world. It's a terrible, cruel world. But, you know, once I had my kids, it's not like a light switch immediately turns on. I actually overheard a new father in my work area talk. I think it was 2 days ago. And, you know, he was like, yeah, nothing's different. Like, my baby he just had a kid. My baby came out 2 weeks ago and I feel the same. And you know, I did too. But as that kid grows, and I'm talking about fathers, I don't know about mothers. I'm sure it's different. I can't speak to it. But, you know, for y'all in your 20s, I want you to know that you have emotions, and you have sides of your brain that don't execute until you are a father. Okay. Think of have you ever seen like in a movie when, you know, someone gets in like in a fighter or bomber jet and then they look up and there's all these fucking switches and they have to hit them all on, like click, 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 click. Okay. All systems go. That's your brain. When you have a kid, those little switches come on. Click, 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 click. But it's over time. And so, you know, you start gaining emotions that you didn't have before you had kids. You start like a certain part of your brain turns on. Like there's like a certain drive or motivation to keep this little being alive, this little dino that you had, right? Like a protective, I don't know, man, I can't explain it. That's why it's so fucking hard to explain, man. But it's like this drive to protect this little thing. But also it's a different love. Like it's a different kind of love for that child. I really don't know how else to explain it. But the thing is, like, okay, fine. Like I know it's very expensive to have kids. I get it. But that doesn't make them a burden. Like I know how much my kids cost month in, month out, but that is peanuts compared to, you know, what they've brought to my life. So what I want to tell myself in my 20s, and any of you listening, that if you're like pushed to not have kids because you think they'll be a burden and you won't be able to stay up till 3 a.m. to play video games, there's just so much more that your life kind of lights up. But it's so freaking hard to explain. I can't explain it. You know, and if you still don't want to have kids, you know, that's up to you. I think there's multiple things to life. It's what you bring to society, like the value you bring, but also the legacy that you leave. The idea is I want my kids not only to have this, where I think a lot of the boomers got it wrong and stuff. Not only do I want my kids to have what I didn't have, which I had a lot. My parents did a good job. But also, I want my kids to have better values than I have. I want them to have, you know, a better worldview. I want them to have, more discipline. I want them to have more dignity than I have, you know. I don't know how else to explain it, but I think there was this large push in the 90s and 2000s. You know, you'd watch it on a movie and some character, some guy would be like, oh shit, you know, like, oh, the girl's pregnant, I'm disappearing. Like, and it was just all over media. And so I feel like when I was growing up, that I was like, oh yeah, having kids is bad. You know, they always show in movies like the girl shows the pregnancy test and the guy's like, oh, I'm dipping. And I think I got brainwashed in that, and that's why I didn't want it in my 20s. And I don't know if that's still around for you guys, but, you know, just get your shit together. No one's ready to have kids, but they are not a burden. Like, your world will change. And you know what? I've already talked about this for a while. We could even make a video on it if you guys are interested. Okay, so the next one, good relationships have boundaries. Yeah, man, I actually learned this in my 30s, but you can set boundaries, you know? Your buddy that wants to go out all the time and fucking drink and go to the strip club and, you know, is all that good for you, man? Like, you can tell them no sometimes. You can tell people no. You don't have to people please everybody. When you're at work and they want you to work overtime, hey, can you get this done today? You can tell people no. Like, set your boundaries. Because, you know, if you don't have those boundaries set, you can't have a good two-way relationship. Someone's going to walk all over you and it's going to build resentment. Okay, so moving on to physical health. Dump the fast food. Man, in my fucking 20s, dude, I'd work out. I'd go to the gym every fucking day. But then I'd go to school, and then I'd go to the bar, and then I'm fucking tired and drunk, and so I'm gonna go pick up a McDonald's or whatever, you know? Okay, I'm in college. I can burn that stuff off. But you know what? Like, all that food is crap. All that food is just, it's just fake. All those preservatives, they're cancerous, man. The dude, they're gonna give you diabetes, right? Like, have you seen that video? There's a video where they try to melt like a McDonald's hamburger with like a blowtorch or something, and it's like unfazed because of all the preservatives. Like, your body can't break that shit down. Guys, I'm telling you, if you've been having like stomach aches when you eat that crap, and if you've been like, when you go to bed and you just feel sick, or you're starting to gain weight, even if you work out and you're not burning it, dude, it's that fast food, dude. I even mean eating out. Like, you go out to a restaurant and you order that food, dude, they got preservatives too, bro, and they're using that bad oil when they're cooking with it. They're using that really cheap vegetable oil that's like cancerous as well or whatever. Like, look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist when it comes to it, but I know that's low quality food. Like, if you can't cook or if you can't grill, learn to and use quality food. I promise you, go grill a burger, make yourself like not a quarter pounder, make yourself a half-pound burger. Use real good meat. I bet you'll be full before you finish that burger because it's quality food, and you'll lose weight too. So I wish I told myself that in my 20s. Man, like, how in shape would I be if I just never had fast food? because I used to work out every freaking day. And on that next one, don't ego lift. For y'all weightlifters, man, in my 20s, I would try to lift to show everyone how strong I was. Maybe like, hey, you know, there's this girl in the corner, maybe she'll notice me. Guys, that's how you hurt yourself. I have permanent shoulder injuries because of ego lifting with bench press, and I messed up my back doing squat because I was trying to lift as much as I could. Guys, don't ego lift. Like, I don't even need to go long into this. Just do good quality, you know, lifts that you can handle. Use good form. You don't need to throw fucking 9 plates on and try to do a leg press and then snap your leg. Just don't do it. For some of y'all out there, lack of sleep is not a flex. So just don't. I don't care how late you were up last night, you know, doing your 6 job, you know, what do they call it? It's oh shit, gig culture, or what is it? Like side gig culture. It is what I'm doing technically, but yeah, get your sleep. If you have sleep apnea, get on a CPAP or some shit. Like make sure you're getting your sleep. Get a sleep mask, like get the tape for your nose, or, you know, take a bath, whatever you got to do. Get your sleep. Don't stay up late. Just don't. You don't need to. So just make sure you get your sleep. It's better for you. Your brain's not gonna. And another thing, and I drink alcohol, just so you guys know, when you drink alcohol, you do not sleep. You just don't sleep. You go in a sedated state, but you don't sleep. So be careful with alcohol too. I wish I told myself in my 20s, but I'm still kind of doing it. I'm just kind of putting it out there now. All right, we've already gone long, but I only have like 3 more. So I'm just going to do it, and we'll figure out what we could do with the editor. Sorry, editor. Okay, the next one, under lifestyle. Don't tell people your plans. Guys, I did this for 10 fucking years. From like in my 20s. Hell, I did it up until 3 years ago. Don't tell people your plans. Not everybody wants you to succeed, right? And that's something to look out for, guys. You know, when you tell someone your plans, you shouldn't be. Are they trying to talk you out of it, right? And this means vacation plans, plans with the house. If you're going to start a business, if you're going to do a side gig, if you're going to, you tell people your plans until you're working it. It's a mental thing. Sometimes when I tell people my plans, I just don't do it. I remember on the stream, I was like, guys, I'm starting an ebook. Where's my ebook? I didn't fucking even start. I didn't even fucking start. So my recommendation is, if you have plans, keep it to yourself. Actually plan it out. Go finish it. Create plans you can finish. Don't say, I'm going to make the next Google. You're not going to make the next Google. Not on the first go. Like, go take bite-sized plans. Go finish something. Then show people what you've accomplished. Your plans won't impress anybody. Your accomplishments will. So I wish I knew that in my 20s. I told everybody what I was doing. I showed everybody what was up my sleeve. Nobody's impressed with that. Second to last one, dignity and reputation is your brand. In today's culture, I joked about the feet finder thing. I feel like a lot of people are going on social media. They're doing dumb shit. Maybe this video's, against what I'm trying to preach here, but I don't know. I would just try to maintain your dignity. Don't just unveil your whole world just so you could get more followers on social media, or don't go on OnlyFans, man. Look, I know there's certain things you can do in your life to make money that depletes your dignity. Don't do it. Like, I think there's plenty of ways to get resources and what you need while maintaining your dignity, being disciplined, being a good person, not hurting people. I don't know how else to say it while not violating YouTube terms of service, but your reputation's also your brand. And this one I could speak more to, I think. If you tell somebody you're going to be somewhere, or you tell somebody you're going to do something, fucking do it, man. Because you're not going to be able to earn your reputation back. People are going to lose trust in you. So if you tell someone, hey man, I'm not going to drink today, don't drink. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to be over there to help you move or whatever, don't ghost them. And I feel like in culture now, but I saw this in my 20s too. It's like someone would, set up, hey, let's go on a date, whatever, and then you get ghosted. That sucks, man. Like even today, there's people I text and I'm like, hey, this and that, and then they leave me on red. They don't fucking respond. Like, what is that? I think to tell myself in my 20s, like, if you say you're going to do something, do it. And for you to earn money or earn opportunity or earn a position in whatever organization you're in, do it with dignity, do it with discipline. Don't be sleazy about shit, right? I hope that was clear. I don't know. And then the very last one, watch out for authoritative people. I feel now, and I'm not trying to get political or anything, but I feel now more than ever For this, maybe for more people in their 20s than when I was in my 20s, but I noticed this too. It seems like in our culture, there's more authoritativeness going around. And what I mean by that is people try to tell you how to act. People try to tell you what you can and can't say, what you can and can't do, or, you know, it will affect their feelings, or it will affect, you know, their comfort. That's authoritativeness, guys. You know, when I was in my 20s, I was always apologizing for everything. It's, oh man, sorry. You know, you don't need to apologize for anything, man. Like there's people out there that want to control you. They want to control what you do, what you say. And some are a little more sly. Like there's sociopaths out there. There's people at work that will try to tell you how you need to do something. They're not even in your org. I've had people that are like, no, you have to do that report a certain way. It's like, dude, I don't even know who the fuck you are. I just think there's authoritative people everywhere. Some are sociopaths, some are psychopaths, and some just want to tell you what to do. I would just, it's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to create those boundaries I talked about earlier. You don't need to bend the will to everybody who says that, you know, they're, what's the word I'm looking for? Offended. You don't need to. Just stand up for yourself, do what you think is right, have discipline in everything you do, maintain your dignity, try to maintain your reputation, be a good person, you'll be all right. Hey guys, if you hung around till now, yeah, please like, subscribe, follow. And guys, I stream every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. No, 8:30 p.m. Central time on Twitch. That's at twitch.tv frostysauruswrecks. You could also catch me on X. You can catch me on TikTok. You can catch me on Rumble. And then what's the other one? Kick. You can catch me on Kick. Oh, and YouTube TV. Fuck it. You can catch me on all the streaming services. So go ahead and check me out. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it, guys. I will catch you guys at the stream. See ya.